It's the Hop Nation
USA Podcast.
It's episode 174 of the Hop Nation USA Podcast, and I'm here joined by my co-host Adam.
as always.
And as always, it's the even episode, so now that means we're on Zoom. That means the audio quality is kind of iffy, but we do have a guest, and this week's guest is Dennis from First Sip Brew Box.
What's up, guys? It's been forever. Super pumped to be back and hang out with you boys again.
It has been too long. It's been way too long.
It's been months. I feel like a couple months, maybe 3 months. I don't know.
At least 6?
No, not 6 months.
No.
It feels like it. It feels
okay.
like it.
I was like, wait, what?
It's not 6 months, but it's been a couple months.
It has.
So, and I know Dennis has been off on his adventures and doing all kinds of fun things.
It's
And
true.
We'll get into that segment too. We'll learn what Dennis has been up to in the wide, wide world of beer and brewing. He's been co-labbing and doing deals and partnering and all kinds of things going on.
Doing it.
So we'll talk all about that in segment 2. Segment 1, obviously, we'll talk about news, but very, very first, let's talk about the beer we're drinking this week. So, Adam, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, all right. I've got myself a little something from, which isn't a little something. It's not that. But Hitchhiker, the good folks of Hitchhiker Brewing. I have the Agrio, which I'm sure you can see here if you're watching on the video. It is a strawberry margarita Gose, 4.4% ABV, and quite delicious.
I agree.
That sounds good. And that's a pretty dope glass, too. Adam, was that
It
Lincoln
is.
Ave?
It is Lincoln Avenue.
Oh, man.
What's interesting is you look at the beer itself. It kind of just looks like a regular ass lager, but it tastes nothing like that.
Huh.
It's awesome.
Get you, gotcha.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna enjoy this one.
Hell yeah.
Cool beans. I am drinking from our friends at 4 Points. If anybody was paying attention to Twitter, I ran a quick Twitter poll to pick what I was going to drink on this episode. Just because I had enough stuff just kind of sitting around. So, but one of the ones that came up on the Twitter poll was the cargo van that Adam had drank previous episodes. But I just felt maybe I, as an IPA drinker, should review this one as well on the show.
Agreed.
And I tell you what, it is a really good representation of a West Coast IPA. It was brewed with Eureka and Idaho 7 hops, which Idaho 7 is pretty dank. People seem to enjoy that one. That's why they keep using it. But it's also 6.4% on the ABV. Yeah, it's an easy drinker if you like that throwback style, which I do. But it doesn't come across like super piney or anything. It's not a Simcoe pine cone bomb. It's
It's kind of a Saturday afternoon West Coast IPA.
Yeah.
Rather than a Friday night.
Yeah.
Balls out.
Ooh,
You definitely know you're
that's
drinking.
not just Friday nights, Adam.
You
That's all
definitely
the
know
nights.
you're drinking an IPA, but
Mhm.
it's not. It's not total blow your palate out.
Right. Yeah,
Damn.
when I had it, I thought it was a good representation of a West Coaster. If you can find it, get it. It's a big if. Because I'm pretty sure they're gone now.
I definitely have a mission now because the way Steve painted that picture, I kind of want that in front of me.
It's good.
A lot.
Yes.
What do
Speaking
you
of-
have in front of you?
Yes.
King of segues. I love it. So what I have is from our trip when we visit Evil Genius, which we'll get into segment 2, is the Baby Shark. It is a 4.4% hazy mosaic pale ale. So
I like one of those words.
So some of the stuff that they put, some of the nomenclature on their can, is brewed with malted barley and oats, hopped generously with American-grown mosaic, fermented with our German ale yeast strain, endlessly drinkable with notes of papaya, lemon, and passion fruit. So I'm super pumped to dip into this bad boy. Wanted to wait for you guys to go over yours before I crack this open.
I can hear the freshness.
And the awesome little glass, we're actually doing it out of our Tico glass that we got from Evil Genius.
Your what glass?
Or Tico, is that how you say it, Tico? I've always said Tico.
I've said Teco,
T-E-K-
so
Teco. How do you say it, Adam? Because you seemed offended. It seemed like I triggered you with 4 letters.
No, it'll take 4 different letters to get me mad.
So really, really good color, solid head retention on there. Yeah, you definitely pick up on some of the lemon and papaya on the nose. So I'm really pumped to dip into this brew. Oh, that's good.
Yeah?
It's tasty. Yeah. So you definitely get it's slightly maltier than traditional hazies are. But I think that just adds to the balance of the beer itself, and you do pick up on notes of the like I said before, the papaya and the lemon. It's tasty.
That actually sounds really good. That sounds like something that might be up my alley.
Oh, you could definitely dig into this. I mean, I think so the hops aren't blasting you in the face, so I think you would find comfort there. But another thing I wanted to point out, for it only being 4.4% ABV, and I'm not saying by any means that ABV tells you exactly what you should be expecting from that beer, but this has a lot of body and a lot of characteristics for being such a sessionable beer.
Damn, I'm gonna have to go get some. Is that available in the Pittsburgh market?
Ooh, I don't know, but Sammy, or we may have another can left, and if we do, I will make sure I get you one.
I'm willing to do some trading.
Yeah.
I'm going to hazard a guess to say it's not available in the Pittsburgh market, Adam, because it's coming in a specialty can, where it's pretty much all we get from Evil Genius on this side is those standard labels.
Right. That's
Yes.
a good point.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think that's the first time I've seen Evil Genius in a can.
I mean, this close, yeah. I've seen
Right.
it on the internet. I know.
Seen it on the internet.
Seen it on the
At that
internet.
point, it's like, well, I've never seen a platypus. Steve's like, whoa, buddy. I wouldn't say that. I've seen a platypus on the internet.
I've been to the zoo. I've seen a platypus.
Honestly, I couldn't remember like what animal I wanted to use for that example, so I kind of failed on that.
So apparently I get mad about glassware and Steve gets mad about platypi.
Or
seen
wherever you're saying that you see things, Steve will be like, "Nah, check your search history. You've seen it."
I'm just saying, I've seen those those fun Evil Genius cans, on the internet, but now it's even closer on the internet because you're, a drivable distance rather than the other side of the damn state.
Achievable.
Yeah.
And we definitely, if we don't have that one still from our trip, we definitely have some others I would love for you guys to try.
Okay.
We'll talk after this. We're gonna have to
twist
do a
my
little bit of
arm.
trading.
Oh,
Yeah.
No. Oh no. Twisted.
How will you ever recover, Steve?
With Regeneron. The transformer of vaccines or whatever.
Steroids?
Yeah, the transformer of steroids.
It's like baby cells,
Bop-boop.
which it's something else someone commented on. He's using baby cells. That's how he got better so quick. I'm like, Jesus.
That is true, and I
That
would.
is true. At that point, you might as well use some baby tears too. You know.
At that point, you get some baby shark.
Ba-da-boop.
Ba-do-do.
All right, let's move it along into news, notes, and neat for the week of October 7th.
Well, yeah.
I was making it sound more official. For the
At
week.
the date of recording, because who the hell knows what's going to happen
Yeah,
True.
between now and when this gets released.
yeah, we looked like a bunch of goofuses last week when we recorded on a Wednesday, and we were talking about the debates, and that was not the most interesting story that
Nope.
week.
Mm-mm. That was page 3, maybe.
Yeah, A lot of people forgot about that shit show real quick after.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
So
It hurt my brain.
yeah. So this week, I've got more news following up, sort of, with
okay.
last week's story, the little short story that we did about shorts and their venture into making THC gummies.
Yes, they have nothing to do with cargo shorts.
Right. But
Shorts Brewing.
Right, Shorts Brewing. We now are moving into the world of seltzer THC.
I saw that.
Pabst Blue Ribbon. Yes. Pabst is putting out seltzer THC lemon flavor. And
So you can legally put THC in the beer now.
Well, okay, that's the thing. It's not a beer. So,
so that's how.
Yeah.
It's a seltzer.
Yeah. So there are, like we talked about this last week, there are companies that do make beer and they de-alcoholize the beer and then they add THC to it. This just pretty much seems like they just take a regular seltzer and then put THC in it.
So it's still alcoholic.
No, there's no alcohol. No, it's just a regular
seltzer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Just like from hearing seltzer these days, you automatically just think of hard seltzers out there.
Yeah.
So they take a LaCroix and zhuzh it up a little bit.
Pretty much.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like LaCroix's got to be mad as hell because, like Dennis just said, everybody's thinking about Trulies and White Claws. Mm-hmm. Nobody's thinking about plain old LaCroix anymore.
No, I'm not saying I wouldn't
dust.
try it, but how much THC we talking, Steve?
5 milligrams a can. Yeah. It's 5 milligrams a can, 25 calories a can. So that's less than what you would do for a White Claw or a Truly because they're like 100 a can. And then it will be $24 for a 4-pack.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
So since it's Pabst, is it national distribution or is it in select states?
So it's only in California right now.
Ah, okay.
And it's only in California right now. And then the other interesting part of it is it's not actually the Pabst Blue Ribbon company.
What?
Because Pabst Blue Ribbon is a national brand, but because weed is not legal nationally.
Oh, right.
They can't say that it's part of their company. They can't legally hold a license to that. So what they have is the company in California is called Pabst Labs.
Okay.
And so Pabst Labs can make the THC seltzer, but they can't, but they also get to use the Pabst Blue Ribbon branding for free.
Aha.
So it's a separate company that Pabst is not suing for using their blue ribbon.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Damn.
I thought that was interesting. And to go hand in hand with that, this is more under the regular Pabst license. They're introducing a hard cold brew. So this is back to the coffee stuff that they've been doing. Mm-hmm. They're doing a cold brew now that is 4.2% alcohol. So this one is alcoholic. Oh. It's also non-dairy because the original hard coffee, I believe, had some dairy in it. Mm. So now they're introducing a cold brew version that's non-dairy but is alcoholic. And then I guess if you really want to throw in goof-ass creamers from Dunkin' Donuts or whatever, you can do that.
I'm a coffee mate man myself, but I
coffee
understand
mate,
what you're saying.
Yeah. You catch
Adam's
my pitching.
Loyal. He's one loyal guy.
Mm-hmm. If it doesn't have the red cap, I'll throw it out.
No, that's definitely super interesting. And those pivots that Pabst made are only pivots that you can make when you got bank. Oh, our company can't do it? Fine. We'll either create a company or get a hold of another company to do all this stuff for us.
And then as soon as it becomes legal nationwide, oh, guess what? That company's part of us again.
Right, exactly.
Scooped up, lickety split.
Oh boy, who bought Pabst Labs? I don't know. Whoever it could have been.
I wonder who did it.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just an interesting way that all of that's broken down. And like you said, Dennis, like not everybody can pivot that way. obviously
Right.
a lot of breweries have pivoted towards seltzer,
Mm-hmm.
but not every brewery has pivoted towards like the hard coffee or the goofy THC drinks and things like that. So yeah,
Right.
it is interesting how quickly people have turned to that. But yeah, it's beer adjacent, and I thought it was interesting because again, last week we were lobbying for breweries in our area to create THC edibles based on their beers. We thought, like definitely Hitchhiker and Abjuration could come up with THC edibles based on their recipes. So
Oh yeah. I wouldn't turn them down. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Market research.
yeah, so you just got to keep that stuff out in the ether. But
Yep.
yeah, that's one of my newses. Adam, what do you got?
I got news.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to cover this, but I'm going to talk about it anyways.
Oh, it's probably a news story that I also have then with
Possibly.
with your reluctance, but yeah,
Is it about Mechtoberfest?
yeah boy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
I think that's worth covering.
Yeah, Mechtoberfest, which was held at the old Mecklenburg Brewery in North Carolina. If you went there, you should go get yourself tested for COVID.
Oh
Okay.
shoot.
They had multiple attendees that have tested positive since attending said brewery. There were, as the news notes, there were over 1,000 people there with mask use at a bare minimum. And that was held between September 25th and 27th. So if you were there or know somebody was there, you might want to go get yourself checked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, not cool.
Yeah. Super
On
not cool.
multiple levels.
So, and it came to light a couple ways. One of them was like there were multiple 311 calls that there was a large gathering there and people felt unsafe about that. And then also just videos of the event surfaced. And I watched some of the videos and nobody was wearing masks
Right.
for the most part. But also it didn't seem like it was like a lot of picnic tables. And so you could just imagine most parties being confined to a picnic table.
Where
Right.
everybody was kind of in a semi-pod kind of thing.
Right. So I mean, it really wasn't much different than what you see at restaurants now.
Right. The only difference I would see is if obviously they didn't go out and check to make sure everyone at a picnic table all lived in the same household.
Mhm.
That's one of
Right.
the things that you have to do. I couldn't even see them following up on that. I know a lot of places are probably having a difficult time following up on that. Like check everyone's ID, and then if you didn't update your address,
Right.
but everyone else did, then you can't sit with them. It's crazy.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's doing that.
No.
But there is after the fact contact tracing of
Right.
like, oh, these people were here, these people were here. So yeah, but again, like it just, I don't know, the no mask thing was pretty bad, but I mean, also at the same time, you're there to drink.
Right.
But it also wasn't much different from what I saw. I mean, there were some people dancing around and, you're going to pass by people as you're taking your beers back to your table and things like that. But it just honestly didn't seem that much different than what you would see at a brewery. It's just there were more people there.
Right.
Right.
But you look at a brewery that, right now you're able to have, a lower capacity, at least here in Pennsylvania. You're looking at 30, 40 people there
Mm-hmm.
versus 1,000. I mean, your percentages go way up with the, number of people
Right.
increasing.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like I was reading through one of the articles, and it's something like 38% of the people who've contracted COVID have also attended a large function or a wedding or something like that. So like,
Right.
yeah, 38% of the people who have got it, and they've done that through the contact tracing of just like, well, were you here? Were you there?
Right.
And
Right.
yeah, we've been a part of something that had too many people.
It's
Right.
like caught me.
Yeah, you got me. Shouldn't have been there, but
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't sure if I wanted to bring that up, but obviously, Steve, you had that on your docket as well.
yeah, I wanted to bring it up because, well, there was also another event in PA that occurred last weekend.
What event was that one?
There was an Oktoberfest event in Slippery Rock.
Oh, I didn't know about that one.
And there was a number of breweries. Yeah, I found out about it, and I didn't really want to talk about it that much because I didn't necessarily know. There was nothing on the announcements that I read. I didn't have enough info about it, but I didn't see anything about like precautions they were taking.
Okay.
My hope is that everything went fine and nothing bad happened, but there's a very strong possibility we might hear a similar story.
Oh, goodness.
I hope.
And that's super close to home, too.
Yeah,
right.
I hope, but I hope not. I hope that things just were handled better than they were down at the old Mecklenburg.
Yes.
But yeah, I didn't really want to promote that event either, though.
Right.
So
yeah. So,
yeah.
Does anybody have something happier to talk about?
I do.
Well,
Please.
I mean, mine's not too happy, but I mean, it's a fact.
I like facts.
The one thing I was going to throw out there is, now this is as recent as I can find it, and then maybe you guys have heard if this is still an issue or not, is because of everything going on, there still being a national can shortage, with folks, stocking like big distributors, not just in beer, but when you have these massive powerhouses like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, all those guys, with all that buying power, seeing things like this, the writing on the wall, and then getting tons of different cans. And then obviously those manufacturers that make these products only make so many. I've still heard some breweries having a tough time finding what they need. But the Wall Street Journal reported as recently as the first week of September that there was still massive can shortages. I don't know if you guys have seen anything similar or heard anything similar.
Yes. Not only that, we've come up with solutions.
Yep.
Go on.
Milk bags.
Beer in a box?
In a box or just a bag, just a straight up bag.
Just a straight up bag. You get a straw and a bag.
Yeah.
My beer's spilling everywhere. Suck it up. Literally suck it up.
Yeah.
Slap the bag with some Simcoe. You're doing all right.
There's another sort of solve for that, and like we saw in the summertime, all those Capri Sun like pre-mixed drinks.
Right.
I don't know. Start getting some Capri Sun packaging out there. Just dump a straw into like whatever 450 North slush you're about to down in your head.
If you're a brewery owner and you can finally afford a canning line, you know what? Hold off a little bit. Get Capri Sun slushy bags.
Get yourself a bagging line instead.
Right.
It's the way of the future. We promise.
Just get just like an all-purpose filler. Like,
you mean a faucet?
Yeah.
All-purpose filler.
Yeah. A couple faucets.
At that point, just use the 5 little gallon gasoline jug.
Jerry can. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
You can definitely do that.
There's plenty of
one on each.
It even comes with a convenient spout to pour out of.
Yeah, gas demands are low. Get out there, buy them jerry cans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, apparently I need to write the Wall Street Journal. We got this. We already have it all figured out.
Dear America, problem solved.
You're welcome. Thanks,
Americans
Obama.
are nothing if not innovative.
Especially when it comes to still enjoying their libations.
Exactly. When we still want our treats, we'll figure out a way to get it.
That's right. Because that's all we have right now.
Yep.
I would not be surprised if I walked in the JRs and they were selling jerry cans instead of growlers.
I feel like JRs could definitely be a pilot establishment for figuring this out.
Yeah, I'm willing to work with them. We're going to come up with like specialty branded Hop Nation USA jerry can.
That would be pretty dope.
Plus, I don't know how many people know this, but right now, those motherfuckers have both Bourbon County Stout and CBS on the Crowler system.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
JRs, man. I know a lot of people know about them, but I still feel like it's the best kept secret.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's because it's in Beaver County. People don't like crossing county lines.
Yeah, and
And
internet's kind of spotty out there.
Right, and then you consider the kind of people that live in Beaver County. It's me and Day, and then a bunch of Italians with their dumb asses.
Italians and like super, in the woods yinzers and
Right.
stuff like that.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of people who would not drink anything that doesn't end in light. So,
Oh, poor Beaver County.
yeah, it is. It is very poor.
It is. Thanks a lot, Adam. Adam just says words and insults entire communities.
Thanks for bringing it up. It's a very impoverished county.
Steve's like, I live here.
Beaver County's motto is, "At least we're not Washington County."
Facts.
Oh my goodness.
What's Columbiana County? Is Ohio across the road? I think. Whatever.
Something like that. I don't know, man.
At least we're not East Liverpool.
Well, I got that one thing.
Yeah.
That one.
No,
thing.
East Liverpool doesn't. No, you're thinking of West Virginia again. That has the teapot.
Oh yeah. Never mind. Wrong side of the river.
West Virginia has the teapot and the casino, and the Fiesta plate ware, whatever.
Oh, the
factory.
Fiesta Ware.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Fiesta Ware factory.
Mhm. If you want to get some radioactive plates.
Yeah.
Damn.
West Virginia.
The
got all
plates, you don't even need a microwave. The plates heat up your food for you.
that. Pretty much.
Plates of the future.
Pretty
Hey, my
much.
hair's falling out. Nah.
Nah,
Just
you're
drink
good.
out of this jerry can. You'll be all right.
You're good. All right. Well, that's. I got one more little news of booze.
I like some news about booze.
So the newsy booze. The Pittsburgh City Paper.
Mhm.
They
I've
brought
heard of
out
it.
their best of PGH list.
Right.
Best of Pittsburgh for 2020. Best pregame bar went to Southern Tier.
All right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Best place to have your birthday went to Hofbrauhaus.
Makes sense.
And then they had like best bar that was divided up into a number of like local divisions.
Mhm. Not quite neighborhoods, but
Right. Yeah. It was like northeast, south. So like Grist House got one of them. Riley's Poorhouse got another one. Piper's Pub got another. Church got the strip district. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Good for them.
It's
Yeah.
interesting.
yeah. So a lot of breweries and a lot of well known beer pubs that are pretty popular in the area.
That's good to see that the beer community is getting some love. Just
Yeah.
some general populace love, not just,
Industry
the beer
love.
community. Yeah.
I also wanted to bring this up because of who won Best Barbecue. Two Brothers.
Yes. Absolutely.
So I like that one a lot because that one is Two Brothers is located all the way out by Helicon.
Okay, then it is who I was thinking about.
Yeah,
I was like two brothers.
Yeah. They're way outside of the city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to
So-
earn it.
Right. So, but I mean, if you make the drive, you definitely earned it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely earned that one because they weren't just like the closest place.
Right.
It's
Someone actually did some research because I hate
Right.
that when you see things like this happen and it's literally the top 4 people that pop up on Google in that category for that area.
Yeah.
They
Well-
actually put in some work.
Well, it wasn't even like a writer who researched it. It's all voted on.
Right. Oh, so people nominate and
Mhm.
then you get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they were nominated and then they were voted as the top.
Hmm.
So like obviously like Grist House is going to win their bar locale area because really the only other competition they have is Strange Roots, and so it's like a toss up between
Mhm.
like Strange Roots and then the couple other handful of bars in Millvale and like what was Stage AE obviously won best large music venue.
Right.
Right.
That's not being used right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Rivers Casino won best place to gamble.
Hmm.
Well,
What?
like, yeah, exactly. Who
It
the
was
fuck
just
else?
between them and the Meadows, right? Like, what other places?
Yeah, why would you
'Cause-
bother with that category?
We're not
Well,
talking about Uncle Joe's basement, even though those are some of the best places to gamble. You clean them out.
But I'm just saying, yeah, exactly. Who else are they going to vote for?
Yeah,
Like
that's a weird category.
the Meadows got an honorable mention, and I wouldn't even put them in because they're not in Allegheny County.
Right.
That's Washington County, so you got to drive for that.
It was literally the only other honorable mention you can give.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, because otherwise you're getting a Mountaineer or Nemacolin.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're only going out there if you're going to gamble and get a spa day.
it. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Yeah. So overall, it can be kind of silly in some areas, but I think the Two Brothers win is pretty legit. So
Yes,
Yeah,
and
that is cool.
I cannot wait for them to reopen fully
yeah.
because that day is going to be Two Brothers, and then on the drive back, have a nice little stop in Collier, get some Grist House, and then keep driving into Oakdale to get Helicon,
Mm.
and then take it all home, and then don't talk to anybody for the rest of the day.
Well,
I feel like that's exactly how Adam likes it.
Yes.
you will probably pass out from that anyway. So
Oh, that's a guarantee.
smoked wing,
sweats.
yeah,
Yeah.
meat sweats and sleep and booze.
Depends on how much you're getting, man. Get some ribs, get some chicken, get some pulled pork sammies.
Dude,
See,
their smoked wings are so damn good.
Yeah. Not only
See?
that, but their
You
I
guys
gotta
are
go
doing
with
it to
their-
me again. You're
their
making me hungry.
poutine. I love their poutine as well.
Oh man,
Yeah. Poutine's tight.
I enjoy poutine, but man, that puts me on the toilet so fast.
Worth it.
It's
Worth
it's like you want to eat real bad, eat whatever you want to have poutine.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll lose 5 pounds.
Yeah, clear your schedule. You'll be all right.
Clear your schedule.
You're
That's the real reason why you don't talk to anyone for the rest of the day.
pooping.
That poutine gotcha.
There's poo in the name. It's obvious.
That's true. Can't have poo without poutine.
That's right. I'm French Canadians. That ain't what they were doing.
All right. Let's jump on back to our
Yes.
beers. Obviously, I'm still drinking the Cargo Van by 4 Points Brewing. West Coast IPA, hot with Eureka and Idaho 7. It's dank, it's bitter, but it's not overly piney. It's just a classic throwback to a style that I enjoy. Welcome back, West Coast IPAs.
We have missed you.
Missed you.
Yes, we.
Yeah.
Adam, that's like a meme when you try to blend in places.
The royal we is what I'm using.
But I am glad that this beer is around for the IPA drinkers, for the West Coasters. It's a good beer.
Why you sound like a mayor of a small town where all beers are welcome. I am happy this beer is here for the IPA drinkers of this great land.
I am a uniter, Dennis. Here to bring us all together.
Vote for me. I may hate your beer, but I appreciate it for the style.
That's right. That would be how I would campaign. That'd be my campaign slogan. For the style. Yes.
Oh God, that made my heart hurt. Which I can't take a baby aspirin, but I'm drinking.
I'm drinking.
All right.
It's fine.
So speaking of the baby shark, how was it?
It was very good. So over time, after drinking it, it was just refreshing. And like I said before, and I stand by it, it is a good beer that gives you a slight hoppy profile, some aromatic characteristics, but it's still a very light and crushable beer. So that's what I appreciate about it.
Right on. If
And
you've
it's
got
gone.
one more laying around, we'll talk after this.
Hell yeah.
We'll
Look at
We'll do some
Adventurous
even
Adam.
well, they said it was oh good Lord.
Just say, look at Adventurous Adam branching out, actually seeking out IPAs.
Well, it's a
you-
pale ale. It's a pale ale. Let's not get too excited.
Okay,
here.
fair enough. But I mean, still, you
Oh.
also picked up the cargo, or you had the Cargo Van last week.
Well, that wasn't necessarily for me,
Yeah.
but I bought it. It's on record. The credit card company knows about it.
Saving his receipts of every time he buys an IPA. So he goes into a brewery. They're
It's
like,
on record.
like, yeah. They're like, you don't like IPAs. I brought my receipt. I brought my papers. I got my papers.
Got my papers.
I'm allowed to be here.
Don't want to get thrown out of the Zeppelin.
I've had one.
Every time Adam goes to Dancing Gnome, he has to bring his papers.
No ticket.
Or I could just go down the street a little bit to Hitchhiker.
Oh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Get the Agrio, their strawberry margarita Gose. It's good. I like it. It's tart, but not sour. Steve, I think this might be kind of something you'd be into.
It's possible.
It's
possible.
A good, back porch drinker. It's good. I don't know that I would necessarily put it in the refreshing category. I don't believe that's what this is going for. But yeah, because it's got it. It's I don't know. Heavy's not the word for it, but it's very
Robust.
Thank you. Yes, a much better word.
Just a lot going on.
I mean, it's not a lot, but what they have, it's 10 out of 10. I like it. I'm glad I had it in my fridge, and now I'm glad that I don't have it in my fridge.
Yeah.
Now it's in your belly.
That's right.
That beer sounds super unique. Like, what would, if you were to pair that with like a food item, like what would you eat with that?
Tacos.
Probably a cheesecake.
A cheesecake. Adam's going cheesecake. Steve said tacos.
I don't know. I heard it's a margarita Gose, so I immediately go to tacos
That's
or
fair.
nachos.
That's fair.
I will take you both up on that, and I guess I'll have to have tacos followed up by some cheesecake and have a beer.
Yeah.
That's why those come in 4-packs. One for each course.
Oh God, that would be like a 4,000 calorie meal. Like having tacos. No.
So you've never done that before?
It's not for the faint of heart, is what I'm saying. Because you have to finish it. You can't give up halfway through. No quitters around here.
That's right. No limping away from this one.
I've had meals stronger than COVID.
Oh, good Lord. Do not make a T-shirt that says that.
Think about it.
Eh,
I might put it up on my secret Teespring shop.
there you go. Yeah, you can do that all I care, but not for the public entity that is Hop Nation USA.
Fair enough.
Adam,
Obviously, we have a corporate image to upkeep.
Yeah, right.
How often do you check that stuff? Steve could just be going willy-nilly and doing whatever he wants. I feel like you ain't checking.
I pretty much showed Adam all of my T-shirt designs before I put them up. Not for his approval, but for his approval.
You're going to do it anyways.
Right. It's not for his approval whether or not it goes up. It's just for his approval that I made a good shirt.
He does, yeah.
Well, so you see the things that Steve allows you to see. He's created this false reality of Steve shirts.
Right. He doesn't know what's on the secret Teespring shop.
And that I don't care about.
Yeah, he has nothing to do with it.
To like Argentina.
Yeah, that's his business. I don't. But I mean, I was on tpublic.com using the search word Hop Nation USA, all one word. I was on there and I bought stuff like a week and a half ago.
You got to support the team.
Right.
But where Steve gets you, he has one where he spaces out all the words. That's where it gets you. You used it all one word. You'll never find it that way.
So that was something that we found out, that if you do Hop Nation USA as 3 separate words in the search bar, our T shop doesn't come up. But if you do it all one word, it takes you straight there.
Oh man, that just sounds like the search algorithm of that site is just stupid.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah.
And I've considered migrating it to Teespring. So we'll see in the future, but
until then, grab a shirt.
Until then, it's on TeePublic. Hop Nation USA, all one word.
Get a shirt, get a mug, get a pillow.
Get a mask. Get them all.
Get a mask.
But
get a platypus or a sweater for your platypus.
Yeah. For now, I'm going to go get another beer.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I, too, will be getting another beer. So we're going to take a little break. We'll come back with segment 2. We're going to learn all about what Dennis has been up to while he's not been on the show, which is a lot.
Oh, man.
It's a lot he's been up to.
It's so
a
much
lot.
stuff. Now I
Yeah.
feel like I should have written stuff down. Thanks, Steve.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, we'll be right back with segment 2. Welcome back to episode 174 of the Hop Nation USA podcast. It's segment 2, and I'm still here with my co-host Adam.
Yeah, I didn't go anywhere.
Yeah. You're still in
still
your
here.
house. I'm still in
Yeah.
my house.
I have nowhere to be.
And we're assuming still in his house, but we can't tell because he has the First Sip backdrop that follows him everywhere. Is Dennis.
That's it. I could be anywhere, man. I could be on the run from the law. But when Steve hits you up to jump on a podcast, by all means, you do it.
You know, it'd be really awesome if you could somehow bring up a quick disconnect for the top of your banner, and then you set up in a random brewery and just do a quick reveal. Like,
That would be pretty cool, but a lot of work, and it's close to like cardio, and I don't do cardio. So when I get more employees, we can do that.
I say, interns.
Interns. I'm gonna need you to set this up, but for no reason whatsoever, take it down. Which is literally every internship ever.
That is some real Inspector Gadget shit to just have all of that unfold and then drop down at once.
Yes.
That would be pretty dope, though.
Go Gadget backdrop.
I feel like that would be much more expensive than what we paid for what we have.
Well, yeah, but you got to make yourself more mobile.
It's true.
Ready to go. Just always
Get
be
myself
ready.
a pair of wheelies.
Yeah.
Super mobile.
Well, actually, you want to give Sammy the Heelys. That way she can be, doing pans and dollies, very smooth
Smart.
as she
True.
films you.
That is true. Well, we finally invested in a new, or not in a new gimbal, as in we had one, in a gimbal.
In a gimbal, yeah.
Which it was a nice one, so we're excited to put that together and try that out.
Was it the Chinese one that has the like the remote function that will do pans and zooms on its own?
At the bottom of the shaft, it has like a little D-pad. Oh fuck, maybe that was kind of terrible. It has a D-pad
Okay.
for it, but I mean, it was originally like $450, but
Yeah.
me, I don't ever pay full price for anything. So I found it going on clearance at Best Buy on their website, but for whatever reason, I could only get it in the store on the website. So I did all that, and I got like $250 off of it.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
That's how we roll.
Smart.
Nice. Open box at Best Buy will do you good.
It even came with a nice, it's obviously not a Pelican case because that's
Right.
probably more than what the gimbal is.
I mean, you don't own
Probably.
a Pelican, so it's no problem.
Yeah, you don't know what I own. Okay.
If you owned a Pelican and I didn't know it by now,
That's true.
that's on you.
That is true. I don't own a Pelican. I do have a platypus, though.
Nice.
We should probably talk beer for a little bit here.
That is true.
Yeah, camera talk is over.
It's a whole other podcast.
Hmm. I mean, I wouldn't feel safe doing a camera podcast without having an 8K camera, so not going to do that.
An
Not gonna
8K camera.
Yeah, they're out there.
Yeah, that's
All
probably
the
like
Ks.
30K.
They're out there.
It's probably insane.
They're out there.
Just get some corporate sponsorship.
Sure.
Sony, they'll sponsor you.
Black Magic, Red, one of those two.
Yeah.
With that in mind, let's move on to the beer, though. No other
Okay.
podcast but the beer podcast. This time, I have
The best weekly episodic.
Fiestaware.
Whatever. Hey, Fiestaware.
I have Fiestaware. No. I have Black is Beautiful by Cinderlands.
Very nice.
It's a stout. If you, for some reason, have not heard about the Black is Beautiful initiative or the beers that were produced, this is a collaboration with, quote collaboration, with Weathered Souls out of Texas. And Weathered Souls basically come up with the recipe, they put it out there, and then every other brewery was encouraged to copy it and then sell the beer with proceeds going to any kind of charity that would benefit people of color. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is the Black is Beautiful by Cinderlands. And as far as I can tell, the simplicity of this beer kind of leans me in the direction that they just followed the recipe as is.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, there's a lot of variations on this out there. Some people didn't even do a stout. This is a 10% stout, so that's a real easy buy for me. I honestly don't give a shit where the money goes to.
He's like, give me that stout life.
Yeah, give me that stout life. As long as it doesn't go to anything like alt-right, I'll be fine with.
Nefarious.
Yeah. Well, nefarious is, subjective.
All right, fair enough.
If the money went to Proud Boys, I would say no. If the money went to Cobra's weather machine, maybe.
Band name called it.
There's no way that can ever go wrong.
Right. It's like, I don't know, maybe. Let's hear them out. Snakes are kind of cool. Let's see what they're thinking. But yes, this is it is a very good stout. Just as the base recipe, it's incredibly thick. It's incredibly heavy. I again, like I said, it's pretty basic though. So you get a lot of chocolate bitterness.
Mm-hmm.
But
because it's basic doesn't mean it's bad.
Right. But it's also very thick and heavy. So, yeah.
Sounds like a good drinker.
It is.
Yeah.
It's yummy. It's yummy.
It's beer, wheelhouse. Wheelhouse, beer.
Mm-hmm. Who wants to go next?
Dennis, what are you drinking?
Yeah. So what I have going on is a Terpenes Pale Ale from Abjuration. That's why I say it. Terpenes could be Terpines. I have no idea.
Can I see the can again?
What I do know, it is not Terpeninis. Do not say that because someone did say that and they were laughed at. From Terpenes. I was like, what? I think
that's what I'm going to call it now. That's awesome.
Be too far off. But it's a pale ale from Agrio Brewing, located in the Keys Rocks, Pennsylvania, coming in at 4.2% ABV. Terpenes is a organic plant compound. I don't know how they came up, where they got that organic plant compound. I don't know if that's something that could be derived from hops. But some of the research that I did on the cannabis and hemp side, there's certain things that could create terpenes. So I don't know if that's something that they were going after on that end. But then I also found out a really fun fact that terpenes could actually be produced by insects. And Abjuration is a really insane brewery. So maybe, but I don't want to go on the record saying they definitely used insects in this beer or not.
They did not. They did not.
I'm just saying you could.
Terpenes is what is responsible for the smell and odor of a lot of plants as well as insects. But that's why it's so heavily associated with the weed community, because that'll give you, the terpenes are what gives weed its weedy smell.
Aha.
Okay. So
yeah,
I was on the right path.
All right.
I just got distracted by random facts about insects, I guess.
Yeah.
But this is the brew. Really solid color. Not clear by any means. It actually has somewhat of a thickness to it. Solid head retention. Let's get the nose. You definitely get the terpenes. It's definitely that heavy, thick, aromatic odor. I don't want to use odor when describing a beer, but that's what it was used in the definition of terpenes.
You could use nose.
Very good. It's very good odor.
The odoriferous whatnots.
Oh man, it definitely smells really, really tasty. Let's dip into this bad boy.
Yeah, it's also, terpenes is associated with self-defense mechanisms by some plants.
What?
That's what they put out. They put out the odor to keep you from eating it, but it doesn't work with hops and weed.
Yeah, I was about to say, because if they made it to this drink, they need to step up their defense.
Right. Some weak ass plants.
So I'm just drinking a glass full of weak ass plants. No,
I mean-
but it's good, man. That smell that you get that's normally associated with cannabis and marijuana. I feel like a fifth grade social studies teacher. Marijuana,
The devil's lettuce.
The devil's lettuce. It's definitely very thick on the tongue. Like as soon as you drink it, you definitely get a lot of that. But it's balanced. What I can compare this to is unlike, I guess the opposite of this would be the Emperor. I don't know if you guys remember that from New Belgian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was harsh. It was brash. It was this is like if they would have put it into R&D for like another 10 years, it would have made its way to being what Abjuration came up with, which is a phenomenal beer.
Yeah, the Emperor was one of the early. I mean, I think Lagunitas was probably the earliest version of using hemp in a beer, but like Emperor was, they didn't do it quite right, but I didn't hate it either.
On the nose, I thought Emperor was phenomenal. Like it felt like someone was just rolling up right in front of you.
Yeah, it's just the back taste that on that one that was real harsh. I think Sweetwater's also really nailed it with their
Sweetwater did a good job.
Yeah, the G13 series. Yeah, that's a really good one too. It's funny though, like terpenes is meant to be an odor deterrent, and it's also very similar to the way like chili peppers got hot to keep people from eating them, but people just ate them more.
Even our own bodies are like, you're gonna get heartburn, and I don't care.
Oh,
worth it.
Yeah, make it hotter.
I got nowhere to be tomorrow.
Yeah, fuck you.
We even named them like Reapers, like the Grim Reaper of Death, and people are still like, that's my favorite pepper.
well, the even worse side of that is the fact that those peppers are engineered by us.
Yeah,
that's all. Like anything that I think goes at above like the Ghost Joclia is like is a pepper that's been GMO'd by us.
Mm-hmm.
We're purposely growing things hotter now.
That is insane. I mean, I enjoy it. Maybe nothing that hot, but
I do.
I know, Steve. I know. I don't even know how your insides are like. Maybe that's the key to a very long life. It's just like torching your insides.
No. I just
think give it the opportunity to rest.
It's not though.
No, I just think it's genetics that I'm generally unkillable.
That is why you cannot live amongst normal society.
That's right.
You must be in the mountains, in the woods.
I hide in the woods. Just eat my hot peppers.
Anytime like hunters in the woods, they see like pepper stems. They're like, Steve is near. We got to get out of here. All you hear is stouts. And they have to leave you like offerings of stouts, or else you will trail them back to their camp. And murder
Stouts for the stout
family.
gods.
Leave stout.
Oh man, we love tangents.
Oh yeah, Adam, what are you drinking?
Wow. So I guess I'm the one that went the furthest for this episode. I went all the way to Bethel Park for some Spoonwood.
Damn dog.
And I didn't even buy it. This is the Cinnamon Ghoul.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh wow.
It's good. Guess what it is? It's pumpkin beer with cinnamon.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure we've had that on the show in the past.
when we were actually there, we had it. When we were set up at Spoonwood, I'm pretty sure we had it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's back.
Yeah.
This time in taster form.
Taster form.
Shout out to my friend Derek. He was able to supply a little bit for me. So thank you to
That's
Derek
awesome.
for helping a brother out.
Thanks, Derek.
Thanks,
You're the best.
How is the 2020 version of the Cinnamon Ghoul?
It's good. It's good. I must say that I what?
You just yelled, "It's good! It's good!" And a long sigh afterwards.
You're overly exasperated on the show sometimes.
I am, but I'm exasperated at myself. It has nothing to do with the beer. Because for me, I already know that the next step that I would want to take with this is have a nice little brown sugar and cinnamon rim on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't have that.
Oh.
Okay, I see what happened there.
Yes.
Warp.
So I am mad at myself. It has nothing to do with you or the beer.
So sad.
Okay, got it.
On me.
The way
What
it
is
came off, it was like, college days, one night stand. You're like, hey, we're never going to see each other again. But what I want to know is, was it good? And then she goes, yeah. Well, could have used a sugar rim. I'm more exasperated at myself.
So eloquent.
So, yeah, the Cinnamon Ghoul was on the show
Okay.
almost exactly 100 episodes ago.
Are you
Wow.
serious?
Yeah, it was episode 79 that we did with Spoonwood
Oh.
and Steve in the back room.
Shit. All right.
Yeah, so 105 episodes. Well, no. 100,
Go
yeah,
the other way.
yeah, gotta go the other way. Math is hard, yo. Especially after some Black is Beautiful.
Yeah, that's a heavy beer. That's a thick.
Mhm.
That's a thick one.
My
See, I
math is the first thing to go.
I don't really think you can chalk that one up to Goldfish Brain. It's been 100 episodes.
That's true.
Yeah, no, you just I mean, you gotta. We're into the part now of the show where we have to Google search everything.
Right.
Because I'll also tell you what, last week with
Mhm.
the lavery, that was also on the show,
Was it really?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
and that one dated back a couple years, also very early pre 100.
Damn.
Oh, all right. I don't
Because-
feel bad about that. Then.
Yeah, I know it's fine. Yeah, everything pre 100s, whatever off base. Yeah, it's fair game. But that episode, I believe Dennis was on.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
How long ago do I date? Like,
You date back
episode
to like almost episode 52 or something.
52.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
You were, because I think you were one of our first guests that we had on.
yeah. If not sooner, you might have been
Mhm.
like episode 35.
That's crazy how fast time flies, man.
Yeah. So,
Well,
yes, you date back very far.
It had to be 2018, or was it 2017?
Whenever Brutal was, Steve, when you and I first met, Brutal Beer Fest.
And I can't remember if that was 17 or 18.
Steve's like, Black is beautiful.
You know what? It had to be 2017 because 2019, Brutal didn't happen.
Right.
2018, I was there.
Right.
And
Oh, damn. So it was
2017.
2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were one of the first 50 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is insane to think about. Like, time just flies by. I feel like, honestly, it was a year and a half ago, and that's not true at all.
No,
Nope.
no, that was April.
Yeah. It was very early on. So, yeah, we're on top of that. On top of it, you have been on the show on and off for a very long time.
Right?
You also actually haven't been on the show in a minute. You've been
Right.
very busy.
Right.
It
You've
has
very
been
busy.
insane.
I've been. I mean, if you don't follow First Sip Brew Box, obviously follow First Sip Brew Box at First Sip Brew Box on all of the social media. But you can follow Dennis's adventures as well. But I think let's start with one of the first things that I remember you doing after the last episode you were on is that you announced your own Black is Beautiful collaboration
Yes,
with you have one coming out with Harris Family Brewers, right?
absolutely. So the initial one that we did from way back when, so our first Black is Beautiful collaboration we did with Couch Brewing and Abjuration, the guys that made the Terpenes pale ale that I'm drinking and enjoying right now. So we did that one. Phenomenal time hanging out with all those guys. The second one that we did maybe a little over a month ago was with the Harris Family Brewery, which is Pennsylvania's first Black-owned brewery, and out of Harrisburg, and Will Brewing. For all you guys and girls out there listening on audio form, I am pointing at my hat, which is a Will Brewing hat. So we were able to hang out down there. We were super ambitious with that one. We were literally doing something that has never been done before. And we knew it was ambitious to the point where we actually got a hold of Weather Souls in Texas and asked them, one of the founders of this worldwide and nationwide collaboration, Black is Beautiful, saying, hey, we're going way out in the right field on this. Is this okay? Like, we got their approval and everything first before really, just doing our own thing. And they were like, go with it. So John, one of the founders of Free Will Brewing, is a mad scientist. So he got a hold of a yeast strain that is like a newer made, however you make a yeast strain. I actually, because yeast is life, I don't even know what you're doing to make. It was something that hasn't really been used in beer before. And then if that wasn't enough, on top of that, we were doing a sour stout.
What?
So we're making a sour beer stout form. I know.
No, I'm in it. I'm in it for this one.
So we did all this, had a great time, hung out together, visited some local breweries. It's one thing to know someone, via social media and just meet them at different events and, network with them. It's another thing spending 15 hours just drinking with that person. And John made sure we were definitely drinking the entire 15 hours, like, for sure. It was a great time. So we did that, and then just fast forward a little bit. Unfortunately, that beer, because it was so unpredictable, did produce some off flavors. And John, being like the stand-up guy he is, he was like, doesn't meet our, Q&A, so we're not going to put this out there. So they're bashing, getting rid of that, and now we're somewhat going back to the drawing board. And look, I'm okay with it. It gives me another reason to go back out there and hang out with those guys again. So it's kind of like the equivalent of someone, you spend the night at someone's house and you're like, oh, I have to go back. I left my socks there, or my keys, or my purse. I have to come back over. So it's kinda,
you got Xbox? Sweet.
The difference is this just costs you $10,000 to do that. Just ballparking it. But it was a super great experience. And just kind of, on that same trip when we went out to central Pennsylvania, which Free Will Brewing is located in Percy, PA, which is about 30-40 minutes outside of Philadelphia. Initially, we went there. We hung out with Luke of Evil Genius. We had him on our video series, The Daily Sip. And Luke was one of the first 5 breweries, Evil Genius, to actually be featured in our brew box. He was like, hey, man, like early on, 2016, he was like, I like what you guys are doing. I'm all about it. What do you need from me? And like, we got some stuff together. And it was cool, 4.5 years later, to actually meet in person after, just kind of rooting for each other's success all these years. So we were doing a daily sip down on location. And literally, as we were going over the Black is Beautiful beer, they come over and we had to cut the episode short because protests broke out.
Oh, shit.
And they were starting to shut down the city of Philadelphia. And they told us before, the last time this happened, they locked everything down and our hotel was outside of Philly. So we would have been stranded with nowhere to go. So definitely tune into that episode, The Daily Sip. It was a couple ago that we did with Evil Genius. Literally, we hung out with Luke for a couple hours. And then once we did the episode, 8 minutes in, shit hit the fan. And we had to break everything down and scoot back, or else we could have been stuck there. And I'm okay with sleeping in my car, but I don't want anything to happen to Sammy.
Right. Well, you could have slept in a brewery, too.
Yeah.
Yes, we could have.
You have a fucking sleepover. You order some pizzas real quick. You have a pizza party. It's fine.
I feel like Luke would have been down with that too. He's super, super chill dude.
Gotta do what you gotta do,
Oh yeah.
Just to jump back quick for a second. I think it's cool. Like, I mean, you said you guys are going to go back and try again with another batch. But I think that's one of the cool things about the Black is Beautiful initiative is that unlike the other past collaborations, like for the Campfire and the Resilience IPA, Like this one can just be released anytime, and people are continuous. Like you can find articles all the time of like new ones being released. So I like that. I dig it. I like 100%. That about it.
No, and you raise a good point, Steve, because John was even saying he doesn't want to just do something once. So the idea was whichever beer, makes it through fermentation and passes quality assurance, we're going to barrel some of that too and do multiple releases of said beer. Because the whole point was to keep the conversation going. We don't want this to just be a flavor of the month and one and done.
And then it turns into Black is Vertical. Thank you. You're welcome for the marketing.
Yep. Oh, God, which is another future episode that we had put together and already did, where we had 28 different Black is Beautiful that we collected from around the country. That's going to be insane. That was insane.
So you didn't drink them all in one session, did you?
Yep.
Oh.
But there was like 7 of us.
Oh, okay.
Well,
all right.
Thanks for the invite, but
that's
cool.
It wasn't up to me, Steve. I didn't put all the beers together.
Turns out we hate fun.
No,
Steve.
And honestly, Steve, your name came up at one point. So if someone wasn't able to make it, you were that next person getting an invite, and then everyone was worried because I can't stand up like where we were. And so you would have been just in as much pain as me.
What, were you guys drinking in a hobbit hole?
It was an undisclosed. I don't want to give out too much info before we post it, but it was definitely a space that was made for Adam. It was made for Adam.
I understand.
Not made for us.
It was probably one of those homes built World War II.
A bunker.
No, it's just like any home that you find in like the South Hills or like other parts of Pittsburgh are just like built for like very tiny World War II people.
Yeah.
Tiny World War II people.
That's what they were.
Hey man, I don't know about you, but that does sound like a dope ass like shirt or beer name or glass. You could do
tiny World War II
World War II people. Like, I would for sure, but it just have it be like a half-size pint glass or
yes
that is a VFW beer for sure.
That sounds amazing.
That is nothing but a Pilsner.
Writing that down.
Yeah, that's nothing but a Pilsner.
People. That's nothing but a Pilsner.
Nothing but a Pilsner. Yeah, no, my grandparents lived in both of those kinds of houses. Like both of my grandparents on one side were, short people, and my grandparents on the other side, one was short and the other was me. So he was, my granddad was bumping his damn head on everything.
Yep. That's where Steve got his genes.
Yeah, but he was used to it because he served on a naval boat, and you'd bump your damn head on all that shit too anyway.
I couldn't imagine being over 6 foot on a cruiser.
It had to have been miserable.
Yeah, he was.
But at that point, like, you do what you gotta do, man. There ain't no way around it.
Yeah. All right, Dennis. So on top of your travels out to the east part of Pennsylvania, you also traveled across the border and you went into New Jersey.
Not yet, but soon. That's actually how, I don't want to give out the exact date because I don't know when this is airing per se. But that's happening with
as it should.
As it should. Oh, COVID could have got, bumped around the schedules a little bit.
No.
But that's actually, so if you are listening to this on Friday, as you should, we would be in New Jersey the following Friday, weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's coming up where we're going to be hanging out with In Hops We Trust, which is a similar company, Steve pointed this out, as to Porden, Pennsylvania, Porden, PA, where they do, but they are more national. So they go all over the country and doing, different documentary series and things like that. We just about a year ago, Sammy, they reached out to us. Sammy, nurtured that conversation. It highlighted the fact that, I kind of took for granted how great the craft beer industry is in Pennsylvania, how likely everyone is to help each other. Not every single state's like that. And they were telling us, like, obviously the breweries they're still, civil to each other. Like, no one wants to see each other fail, but there's also not that as much of the collaborative spirit that we find here in Pennsylvania and other various states. So we're kind of going there on an olive branch mission to really, do a lot of cool stuff and have multiple breweries and meaderies all in the same brew box. We're going to be doing daily sips at different places, like really, and this will be the first time for us doing all this stuff out of state. So it definitely shows getting out there a little bit more, which we're really proud to share the story of these small businesses. That's why we started really doing what we do now. It's because of the small businesses out there and how they always get overlooked. Like I made a comment earlier this episode, if it makes it past QC. I made a comment saying that if it's not the first 4 or 5 things that pop out in the Google search for whatever the category is, it tends to get overlooked. So whenever WPXI or whoever released something, I think a year or 2 ago, I got really upset that they only featured the biggest breweries in and around Pittsburgh. I was literally drafting a letter to send to them saying, hey, there's so many other small businesses. I get that you can't feature everybody on there, but there should be some semblance of balance between, the big guys and the little guys out there. And then I crumbled up the letter, threw it away, and said, you know what? I don't need to ask someone else to do this. We will do this ourselves. And the
do it my own damn self.
Yeah.
The Daily Sip was born when that happened. And that kind of opened up a lot of avenues for us to get out there and share the stories of other small businesses.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And you guys were already on site a lot of the time because you're talking with businesses, and that gives you advantage over, a lot of other, I would say like podcast entities like, Adam and I and other people who do podcasting, is that you have a business attached to yours. So you already have a reason to be on site. And this is something that we touched on with Jason Sarcone 2 weeks ago. He was talking about brands starting podcasts for themselves.
Right.
To do exactly what you just said and to put out what they want. So you
100%.
Yeah, you already have your brand going, and now you're adding, give a reason for people to believe in you as a brand because you're featuring small business, but you also give people, an idea about small businesses out there. So like you feature Inner Groove. They are, they're smaller, they're lesser known, I would say. I think that's fair to say they're lesser known than Grist House. Sure. Than a Grist House that always gets featured, or a Hitchhiker that gets talked about a lot, or a Dancing Gnome that has a lot of hype around it.
Right. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you definitely raise a good point, Steve. And that's exactly why we do what we do. And we wanted to do like a holistic approach too, and do episodes with people that are in the brew box.
And so with crystals.
And crystals. So the folks that are in the brew box, like, for 2 reasons. One, we wanted to give folks a platform when they're receiving the brew box to go and learn more, directly from the CEO and founder of that company, right on, our YouTube platform. But also, this is an unintended benefit of this. The folks that I would traditionally have just, maybe had a phone call with, or, a couple emails, I start that real relationship with that person because we sit down and we talk for a couple of hours, and 30 minutes before we even start recording, then we have a show together, then we have a beer afterwards. I really get bonded to that creating that relationship with that small business for the rest of my life. I want to see them succeed. And I just think that's cool. And that's something it would have been impossible for me to achieve without creating something like what you guys have and the Daily Sip.
Yeah. And to jump back a little bit to what you were talking about earlier, is you said like this trip to New Jersey is going to be kind of the first time that you're out of state. But like the brewery, you have featured breweries out of state before,
right?
But this is the first time you're going to have that chance to do exactly what you're talking about, is sit down and, do these daily sips and talk to people. And then you get to better know the breweries. And then you can also put that out to help your customers know what those breweries are like as well. So it gives a spotlight for people if you're traveling to New Jersey, I guess. If you're passing through.
New Jersey's nice. Stop bagging on New Jersey.
I'll have some good things to say after I experience their beer scene. Then I'll come back on and report.
We like Ship Bottom. It's fine.
We do like Ship Bottom.
Yeah, we like Ship Bottom. It's fine. I'll say what I want. but it is it is a chance to actually get outside of the state, and now you can feature somebody outside of the state. Whereas, I guess as people in PA, and we know you, but we also have a general idea of all the breweries in PA. At least a good idea. There are still some that I'm sure are hiding in the Pennsylvania area that we don't know about.
Where there's no internet or anything.
Right, yeah.
Hey.
I was like, I ain't got no interwebs.
Just insulted his whole family and where he's from.
They have moonshine, though.
Yeah. Bathtub wine.
Pretty much in the bathtub. So I did want to ask, is the Jersey box, is that going to be marketed as the Jersey box? Is there going to be some sort of social media push on that as well to kind of push it as a New Jersey themed box? Or is that just the next one that's coming in line that is going to be Jersey based? How is that going to work?
That's a good point, Adam. And Sam and I have talked about this. We think on a couple ads that we may run through social media, we may focus on that topic. But as far as the website's concerned and our branding, we want to keep it in line and not kind of confuse people with
Gotcha.
But I only get this if I live here, kind of stuff. So we're not going to do anything officially on the website, but you may see some specific social media posts leaning into that.
Cool. Because I could definitely see that as something, in terms of expansion, if you're able to get 5 or 6 individual states that border Pennsylvania and kind of have a West Virginia box and a Maryland box and a Jersey box.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just laughing at the West Virginia box. I'm like, what would be in there? Just a bunch of acorns.
What one brewery would be in that? How far is Greenbrier? That's all I'm going to strive to.
No, and then everyone has that pride of where they live, the state that they live in, all that good stuff. So I could definitely see us being able to focus on that. We may have been able to dial into that a little bit more, but 2020 was just a shit show. We had everything planned out to quarter way through 2021 with who we were featuring, what we were doing. And then when marketing budgets for every business dried up because they couldn't even open their doors.
Yeah.
Now we're just pivoting and doing what we can and what makes sense and what still delivers value to our subscribers and the folks that we feature in the brew box.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, not to play like a bunch of backdoor, behind the curtains stuff, but if you had the proper marketing budget, depending on, I don't know what you're working with, Dennis, but I know you could definitely run a New Jersey specific ad for people in New Jersey. Then you can run a bordering state ad for people who border New Jersey who should learn about that. And then you can just still run your general ad of, hey, First Sip Brew Box.
We're good people.
Yeah. Get your stuff this month.
I heard 4 different ads in there and we can't afford that.
Right. Yeah. I'm not
each one would have to have so much just to get traction.
Right. Yeah. Because
on it.
But it's all audience targeting.
Right. No, you're 100% right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's something you could do. Again, like Dennis was saying, not everybody's marketing budget can do that right at the moment. Like our marketing budget can't do any of that because we don't have a marketing budget. But hey, it's something for other people to think about.
Absolutely. As far as some of the other stuff that since the last time we really got to come on and hang out, one thing I did want to show in person is I know you guys, if you're listening out there, you can't see this, but we actually won a national craft beer marketing award, which is a new organization that comes up. Last year was the first year of it, and we won a gold Crushy award, which is a arm crushing a beer can, hashtag, Crushy. Really, really solid, heavy award. And it was for best original storytelling. And we're definitely so happy to have won that. That gave us a lot of, added credibility to help our business grow. but nothing is luck. Everything is just the amount of work that you put into it, and you put it out there, and you create kind of like controlled serendipity, which is really unique. And that kind of led into this coming year. So in 2021, I was actually selected and reached out to be a judge on the Craft Beer Marketing Award. So I would actually be judging other companies to win the same national award that I won as well, which is super cool. We as First Sip Brew Box, we can still submit for an award. It's just obviously I would recuse myself from that category.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't judge that one.
Right.
No, this one good, I promise.
But what
You're wearing a First Sip Brew Box shirt. No, I'm not. I just like rip off.
That's not me.
That ain't me.
That ain't me.
So that's super cool.
If I happen to produce a commercial for Abjuration, though, I will not tell you that I did it. Wink, wink.
Hi,
Hey,
I'm
man.
the third party that can link you two together.
Hey,
I'll take care of the dirty work.
dude, we're just gonna pull a Paps.
Exactly.
We ain't got the money to do it, so it's all about who you know at that point.
Yeah.
A low budget Paps. So Paps.
So pass. Yeah, that's really great though, because
It just hit me. It just hit me. That was actually pretty good. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
That's good. Yeah, that is really good though. That you guys got some recognition within the industry, like especially because it's right out the box with that first year of the awards,
Right.
And you can watch that. You can watch that video you guys put together on your YouTube channel, right?
Yes,
Up there.
absolutely.
Yeah. But that's pretty cool that you right out the box, of all the people who submitted, because I know most of those awards, a lot of them were like can design and things like that.
Right.
But you guys had a story that you told that, really, it was a good story, and you captured a lot of people with it. So, yeah.
100%.
Congratulations on
Yes,
that.
congratulations.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, guys.
First of many, I'm sure.
Working on it. Just still playing that game. We're in between being broke and having a little paper. So like everything else in my life, we just live in that gray area, man.
Depends on what day of the month you ask.
Yep. It depends what all we have to, what all we have to get done for the business. Like another thing that we just put out our first piece of glassware outside of what we did a couple of years ago that we still had a little bit in stock, and we finally, rolled through all that. But this one's like our own original design, really in capturing what 2020 is all about. It's the hop that we've been using in a lot of our designs, but wearing a gas mask, because what says 2020 more so than that, and then our logo on the back in like gold flaked lettering on a Libby pint glass. So super pumped about that. We think that one's going to do really well as far as, helping get our brand out there. And so people can have something else original that they can enjoy. Because I know there's a lot of stuff out there these days, which I don't know how some companies get away with literally taking someone's likeness and putting it on.
You sell out before you get the cease and desist.
Yeah. Seems like I have an answer.
Yeah, I have an answer.
Because I feel like in craft beer, you see that a lot, like a lot of appropriation of culture, like a lot of stuff. And it just gives me in everything since we started. Well, the reason why we got led to this was because of COVID. COVID forced us to pivot into our own in-house original designs where we hire local artists. We have a couple that we go through that we have a vision. They put it together. Steve's like, and, we put it out there because it just didn't sit well with me, taking someone else's like this, tossing on a pint glass, making money, on that person.
Yeah. See if that one makes through QC.
Oh, God. Well, it gives you time to think about it because you're drinking a Black is Beautiful beer. Let me tell you one thing. Drinking Black is Beautiful, you'll get bold. You'll say things you may not have normally said. Well, it's kind of tough with you because I never know what you would normally say, because if it sounds crazy and off the wall, you very may normally have said that regardless.
Correct.
There's no way to tell with Steve.
Yeah.
It's when he starts getting quiet and polite. That's when you have to start worrying.
Yeah. I've never
Those
seen
are the
that.
scary times.
I've never seen this. If Steve ever wants to be quiet and polite, he would just stay in his house. He just won't go anywhere.
Yeah, I'm very quiet and polite in my house by myself.
He's never once talked shit to his own face.
No,
Wait.
that's not true at all.
I know for a fact that he has leaned out the window and yelled at deer in the backyard.
Yeah.
So he can be by himself and still be
Yeah.
a mean old cuss.
Yeah.
Now, if it was a groundhog, I'd call him a monster. But deer need to be yelled at. I think they freaking understand because they are also bold and they do whatever they want, especially in PA.
The only thing I haven't yelled at is, well, I've yelled at the groundhogs. I haven't yelled at the rabbits because I like the rabbits, and I didn't yell at the
Rabbits are
skunk.
cute.
I didn't yell
You
at the
did or
skunk.
didn't?
I didn't yell at the
Good.
skunk because I didn't want to startle it. I was close enough to.
You don't know what that panda's gonna do.
Steve only respects the stinkiest things in nature.
That's right.
Well, and bears. You're not going to yell at a bear, I feel like. Unless it was attacking you, then that might be the only shot you got.
PA bear, I can scare off.
Yeah.
I'm as big as most black bears, so yeah.
They strong though, man. I wouldn't test that.
Yeah,
No,
I'll
but
leave that as a theory.
no, I'm not. I'm just saying I'm not trying to test strength with it. I'm just saying black bears is one of the ways you handle them is by being bigger.
Right.
So
Bigger
that's
and
why.
louder.
Right. That's why they tell you to spread your arms out and everything. I don't even have to do that. I just, what's up, bear? And the bear goes, that's not food. Food too
That's
big.
not food. Or if it is food, too much work. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to deal with that.
Right. And that might hurt me trying to. No, I'm not into it.
Well, the
There's a
bear's not
dumpster half
into
a
it
mile.
either.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a dumpster in half a mile. I'm not that hungry.
You know, I did see a groundhog out back. I think someone yelled at him and he died of depression.
Yeah.
Aw.
they just run away. All right, Dennis. So, what can we expect from First Sip Brew Box coming up in the future?
Oh, that's a good question, Steve. So the next thing that we have coming up on our agenda, obviously since all events are kind of nixed in the butt, the one thing we have is what we spoke about earlier, heading out to New Jersey. We're going to get tons of content that we're going to be bringing back to everyone from there. We also have a new series that we put together on the Daily Sip, where I actually sit down with a registered dietitian that's big into craft beers. So we've already recorded one episode, got to put that one out, because just my own personal journey with, and you guys know too, doing what we do, being in the industry, you tend to drink a lot more than the average Joe, right?
You are drinking your calories.
Yeah. So it started hitting me last year, late 2019. I was like, man, I don't have the stamina I used to have. I don't feel great. And like, I'm just gaining weight like it's going out of style. So then I went ahead and put the right moves in place, been focusing a lot on physical fitness the past, 10 or so months. So I decided, okay, and the reason why I made that decision, I will never stop drinking, barring, my liver's fucked and I have to, or else I will die. Outside of that, I will never stop enjoying craft beer. It's just a part of my life at this point. It's a hobby. I enjoy it. I enjoy socializing. I enjoy the people that make it, all that good fun stuff. But what I will do, what I have been doing, is figuring out the right moves in life to put in place so I can still balance it out, so I'm kind of not burning it from both ends. I was like, if I'm having this discussion with myself, like trying to figure this out, there has to be other people out there in the same boat. So why don't I do something to try to help, deliver, free content and try to help people make those decisions? So I, met with a registered dietitian. We sat down, had him on an episode of The Daily Sip. We talked about the calorie ranges in different beers, what beers are healthier than others, and the different types of like working out that you would need to do to balance a high carb, higher sugar diet, and like things like that. So that was just the first episode, and we're gonna do more targeted, focused series in the future. It was very mind blowing to me. The analogy that I love to give was back in the day, you go to Sheetz, or if you're listening, you're not from Pennsylvania, think of your local super fast, like food convenience store. So you would go there. Yeah. Okay. Let me snag a burger. And then they were like, you want mozzarella sticks on it? I'm like, damn straight I want mozzarella sticks on this. So you get that, you'll get, a smoothie or a drink or whatever you do. You go about your day, right? Nowadays, if you have over 20 plus locations, it's mandated by health guidelines that you have to have the ability to produce nutritional information on said items. So now when you go in the sheets and you turn that nutrition on button, now I see that adding those mozzarella sticks are additional 500 calories to an 800 calorie burger that I'm eating. I'm like, holy Santa Claus shit. So craft beer is kind of like the Wild Wild West. There's almost no one putting that information out there. So we were looking to get together content and package it in such a way so people could just know what they're doing. Like if you're out there slamming like super heavy beers, Starbucks latte territory, that's fine. Just know that you're doing that. Like we're not saying don't do that. It's just, I know that there's other people out there in the same boat that I was in. Like, how do you make a better choice and not give up like one of your hobbies?
Yeah,
you're gonna have to let us know when that episode drops because I'm very interested in that. So is my belt.
I'm not so interested. I know what I'm doing to myself. Which is why I brought back up The Black is Beautiful by Cinderlands. There's no way this isn't 400 calories, if not more.
But it's so good.
It fucking is. 10%. It's 10% of nightmares and sugars. It's fantastic.
But you'll be happy to know there's actually a lot of vitamins and everything in beer itself.
Sure, whatever. I don't care.
Hey, just say, man. Steve does not care. He should.
Look, that study comes out. Like that study comes out once every month or every 2 months when news cycles are cold. They say beer is good for you, and then the very next one is beer is bad for you, and then wine is good for you. Wine is bad for you. Eggs good, eggs bad. It's the same shit over and over. It's all about moderation, but I don't care about moderation. I'm trying to get out by 55.
That's my boy's retirement plan. Out by 55.
Yeah, trying to get out by 55. So.
You'll be surrounded by deer, squirrels, groundhogs. Yeah. That bear's gonna walk up on you. Ain't talking shit now, huh, Steve?
and I'll reseed the earth like an empty mash tun.
Oh my god, you guys are insane.
In the meantime, though, yes, back to this Black is Beautiful by Cinderlands. It's a really good stout. It's not much. I wish I had 28 different versions to compare it against, but I don't.
Would be pretty sweet.
Would have been pretty sweet.
There's some great ones, but there also wasn't some not so great ones.
Well, hey, that's everything in life.
Dude, I will say this real quick. The best one, the best of the lot, and I don't want to give away like brewery names because we haven't released that yet, but it was the Crowler can. It was a gold fucking Crowler can. With someone wrote in Sharpie what the beer was on the side of it. That was the best one.
Okay.
It just blew my mind. It was handwritten. It wasn't even an actual label. Someone wrote on it.
Right.
That's awesome. Nice.
All right. So to the beer that you are drinking, though.
Yeah, Dennis,
Adam,
what are you?
Adam, Dennis,
for me, sure. All right.
Whatever.
I don't care. Dennis, you can go. You already got it up.
So the Terpenes Pale Ale from
Terpenes.
Dude.
Terpenes?
Terpenes. No, definitely not Terpenes.
No, we're not talking turtle wangs.
I hear they love pizza. So Terpenes Pale Ale from Abjuration Brewing. It was phenomenal, man. That glass has been empty for a little bit now. At first, you were, I don't want to say overwhelmed by the flavor profile. It was comfortable. It was really good. And then as you drank it, like your body just, your palate just got used to it. And before you know it, you just crushed it and it was gone. So it was good.
Right on. For me, the Spoonwood Cinnamon Ghoul, also gone, empty, just a little taster. But good beer, good pumpkin beer, good bit of cinnamon on it. Obviously, I also enjoy a brown sugar cinnamon rim on it. That's okay. That's my own fault. But the beer stands on its own. It does not need that. If if you like a good pumpkin beer that has some good, cinnamoniness to it, I think it's a word.
Yeah, sure.
It is now.
Is now.
Yeah. Go to Spoonwood. Pick up a growler.
Right on.
I don't believe they have it in cans. I believe it's growler only.
Oh.
I could be wrong.
Are they crowlers or no?
The beer that I have came in a growler.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So
I don't know if this one in particular is canned or
Right.
growlered. I know Spoonwood does can, which is nice.
Yeah,
That's
sometimes.
very nice.
Sometimes. All right. Well, we're going to come back with segment 3, and we're going to have more beer, and we're going to have a game. So we'll see you then.
I'm ready to lose.
Nice. Welcome back to episode 174 of the Hop Nation USA podcast. It's segment 3, and that means it's time for a little bit of fun. But of course, I'm still joined by my co-host Adam and
Still here.
our guest Dennis, First Sip Brew Box.
Still here, bugaboos.
And Dennis still has not
Hasn't learned.
No, I still kind of know, but I really like the word.
It is a good word.
It just rolls off your
fun.
tongue. It's got a lot of fun plosives in it. It's got a lot of roundness to it. It's a good word.
Solid, man.
Good word. All right, Dennis. Do you want to lead us off this segment with what beer you're drinking?
Absolutely, guys. So this is another one that we picked up from Evil Genius when we were down visiting the brewery. I just love this name so much as I saw it as I was picking out which beers made the team to drink on this wonderful podcast episode. Just took me back, Stacy's mom, because
It's got it going on.
she's got it going on, and just and that's what I was talking with Luke about. Like a lot of these are just so nostalgic. Like when you're in the store looking to pick it up, you see something like that, you're gonna grab it. This one specifically, it's a Citra IPA. Coming in at 7.2% ABV, 85 IBUs. So this is going to be a little bit more bitter on the hop spectrum. Maybe not for someone like Steve and I, but Adam probably wouldn't have this more than once. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll check it out.
That would be 0% bueno.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you can definitely tell that the beer industry is run by millennials. Just going off of any Evil Genius reference.
Oh yeah. Definitely a little bit of a darker color, not extremely cloudy in there. Malty on the nose. Let's get into this bad boy. Oh, yeah. You get a sweet maltiness up front, carried through by a solid hop profile on the back end. Not as bitter as I would traditionally like it, but I think it's very well balanced with the malt profile. So I'm definitely digging this beer. I will say, Stacy's mom has got it going on.
Can I interject for a moment? If you're listening to this audio, whenever we post the YouTube video for this, go back to this section and watch Dennis drink this beer because it just shows a moment of inner peace, just tranquility. Whenever he took that first sip, it was magical.
Way to sell the YouTube.
I mean, it was true. You saw it, Steve.
Yeah, no. Audio on a Friday, YouTube on a Monday. Check it out.
Just that pure contentment on his face.
Because I love maltiness, and when you find that happy medium between maltiness and still getting hit with some hops, it's a good balance.
Yes.
Life is good.
Yeah. I'm not always for beers that are overly malty, but if it hits a good balance, I'm very happy with. Or if it hits, extra hop, I'm fine with. But like that in between is very, very, very tranquil. Adam, what are you drinking?
So I am also going out to the other side of the state. I've got something from Fegley's Brew Works.
Ooh.
This is their Steel Garden Blastberry Wit, which is a Belgian wit beer with cranberry and pomegranate. So very good for the old urinary tract.
All right, cool. Clear at them UTIs.
That's right.
Get
And,
a little Belgian in you.
Everybody's happy on the inside.
Yeah.
But here it is, poured out, of course.
Ooh, yeah. Turn that glass around.
You got that? You got that?
That logo
good.
camera front.
I know who pays the bills around here.
I wish I knew. These lights about to get turned off. Oh!
But it's a little mellower than a wit beer. It's doesn't even get into a tart territory. I think the cranberry and the pomegranate kind of smooths things out a little bit. If you're not a fan of cranberry and pomegranate, proceed with a little bit of caution, but I have no problem with either one of them. So they are there. They are not overpowering, but they are definitely in the complementary category. But between the wit, the pomegranate, and the cranberry, I think they all kind of blend fairly well to just a nice third segment beer. Just a good, easy drinker.
Okay, so you're coming in
Solid.
for a soft landing.
Yes. It's going to be long runway and calm winds.
Right on. I'm blasting off.
Oh my God, the transition is perfect. Wait, and it's hard to blast off after you just had a Black is Beautiful 10% ABV stout.
You would think so.
This guy.
I mean, that is definitely the thrust rockets that gets you out of the atmosphere.
Steve trying to go to bed early tonight or keep the party going till early in the morning.
This one goes to the break of dawn. This is the Sofa Commando from Couch Brewery. It is their Mexican style stout. I believe it's new for this year.
I believe so.
Like, I mean, looking at Untapped, it like has like no information and only 100 check-ins. So I'm assuming it's new for this year. It is a very spicy stout. I'll put it up front. Like, if you're weak with like spices, maybe steer clear, because I really feel like they did some habanero magic in this one. I'm guessing. But also, it is up front one of the most cinnamony-ishest beers. Like, there is a huge pump of cinnamon, like very front forward. Like, even more so than that F2 Cinnamon Toast Crunch beer that they did.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one is all cinnamon, and then it just melds into a spiciness. So it's not like drinking Fireball. Thank fuck God.
Yeah.
Words to live by.
Yeah.
Like what we did off of an ice sculpture.
Right. Right. Exactly. It's like very cinnamon up front, and then it molds into whatever spicy pepper they put into this. And then it tapers into just a nice dark roasty stout.
Wow.
I know we say this time and again among like our friends, but I don't know how much we've said it on the show. But like stouts or Couch's stout game is highly underrated.
I agree.
Because because and this one is like a complete knockout the park.
Damn, I gotta get me some of that. I'm happy you got some, because I know you were like, I'm trying to get some.
I'm trying to. That's because I know Couch's stout game is on point. So I have to, like we found that out pretty early, having their Tiki Torch. You and I, Dennis.
Yep.
When we did our first episode of Couch, we had Tiki Torch, and that was their coconut stout.
Yep.
And then every season around November, they do a blackout event. Although this year it's going to be back in black.
Yeah, something else. So parties to not be named do not send any more cease and desist orders.
Right. So it's back in black this year, not blackout, but it will be a stout event. And, check it out, because Couch does not get enough credit for their stouts. This one is knock it out the park. We had I don't know if we had it on this show or if it was like on the Eric McKennick podcast. But we had the 10W40 Mexican style stout.
I believe
Right.
that was on the Eric McKenna
Yeah.
podcast.
But it was made with Carolina Reapers. It was
Oh, yeah.
It was nowhere near as spicy as this beer. But this one is also more flavorful with that giant cinnamon punch. So yeah.
It just sounds good. Like, how hot are we talking, Steve? Like, is it obviously someone like you? It's not going to be overpowering. But is it like a shock to the system that the beer's that hot, or is it like what's the other one that was just ridiculous? That Molotov cocktail that Evil Twin did.
No, that was just trash. That wasn't even a stout or a pepper beer. That was just garbage, I think.
I think I went off of the name Molotov cocktail.
Right? Yeah.
No,
No,
it was a spicy one.
no. I'm honestly trying to think of another beer. This is honestly pretty comparable to the Habanero Sculpin. By this point,
okay.
even though they're completely different styles,
Right.
it's about the same because like you have a lot of heat just sitting on your lips.
Okay.
So
All right. You are selling me on this.
yeah.
No, I'm digging it, man. I
That's-
definitely need to get some now.
That's why I'm pretty sure they went the habanero route on this one because like throwing a bunch of Carolina Reapers in there might have been either too overpowering or just too costly.
Right.
Whereas
That's not cheap at all.
yeah, whereas like habanero and Scotch bonnet kind of fall in that space of spicy but not too expensive.
Yeah, and it's still you're not sacrificing any flavor. Like
No.
they're still super fruity, flavorful peppers.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they don't have any information listed, but from what I'm getting, I'm guessing habanero because it is a Pisces boy.
Ooh, that sounds good, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna have to get a hold of some of that.
For you two guys, you guys can definitely handle this. Proceed with caution if you think habaneros are too much, or if you think jalapenos are too much. Proceed with caution.
Oh God.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I know the range you're working in there.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
But if you live your life in habanero territory, like on the daily, you should be pretty good.
Yeah. Like yeah, I have habanero honey mustard sauce from Melinda.
Mm-hmm.
That shit's so fuck good.
When I was at Union Brothers and I had their firecracker burger,
Mhm.
I pulled a Ron Swanson just because I like doing this stuff. Sometimes it backfires. But I was like, look, I'm going to need double jalapeno on, like as much jalapeno as you can put on there. And she goes to leave. I was like, hold on. I just want to be clear. What you heard was a lot of jalapenos. What I said was, in fact, a ton of jalapenos. What I didn't know at the time, and this is what I talked with Zach about, was just natively on the burger, it's a whole jalapeno cut down the middle, laid on top of it, slightly roasted.
Dope.
So what they did was put like 6 whole jalapenos. There is that much jalapeno on top of my burger. It was glorious. I loved it. Did I get heartburn that night? For sure. Was
Yes.
it worth it? Absolutely.
Yes. Also, yes.
So what you're saying is, go to Union Brothers and grab a burger from there.
And some of the beer, their sauce series, you would love it. They are doing phenomenal sour beers out there. Beautiful sour beers.
Well then, road trip.
Sold. Sold.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
easy.
It's a hop, skip, and a jump from Shoe Brew anyway. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you go out there, you're hitting up multiple spots.
right.
You know, but definitely have food there.
All right.
Well, I
Nice.
guess technically have food everywhere because I think you have to still, but
Right. Yeah. Still have to. But
oh, what a shame. I have to
You-
eat everywhere I go. Shucks.
you get to have food everywhere.
No one could call you fat because it's like just following compliance.
That's right.
I'm just following the law. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but we've been to 6 places. You've had a burger at every single one. What do you want from me?
I have to. I'm sorry.
I don't want Governor Wolf yelling at me.
Yeah. Governor's going to come down on me if I don't eat this burger.
Then you go to the doctor when COVID's all over. Like, I got some good news, got some bad news. Good news is COVID free. You're doing great. Bad news is you're going to die of a heart attack. Or something. It's like, God damn it.
Bad news is your blood sugar is 400 and your blood pressure is 180/70.
So what's the plan, Doc? Oh, no, you're fucked. I have no plan. There is none.
You're just done.
Eat more burgers. Rocket till the wheels fall off at this
Just
point.
lean into it.
All right, Adam. You have a game for us?
Kinda, yeah.
Cool.
Oh, this is an Adam game, not a
an
Steve
Adam.
game.
No. Yeah. Steve game was last week.
Oh,
You missed
man,
it.
so there's a chance.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
bullshit last week too.
Whatever.
Steve games are designed for you to die in the fucking Coliseum.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Plot twist, everyone loses.
Yes.
He is the lion and broadsword.
Yes. And the Emperor, who gives the thumbs down.
It's never this. It's always just.
Yeah.
But we are going to play another episode of Nobody Asked You. So
I feel triggered. I wanted to say something, but then again, nobody asked me.
you're going to get yourself into an infinite loop.
Recursion. Neat.
Math jokes.
Another way to beat Skynet.
This show has everything. except for listeners.
Hey, if a Hot Nation podcast plays in the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it still play? The answer is yes, because we would at least listen to it.
No, Dennis, the answer is yes, because I still count those.
Oh, God. Yep, there goes my heart. It's ticking.
But yes, another rousing game of Nobody Asked You. Which what we do is we go out into the world of beer, go onto social media, we go onto different websites, and where people will ask questions, and we will answer those questions ourselves.
They
They didn't ask us; they're just asking the world, and we're stealing it.
All right, this is kind of fucking cool. I dig it.
We're given the answers for questions that weren't asked to us.
Yes, yes.
I feel like that's what we would do naturally anyways. So.
Yep.
Pretty much. So I'll start with a bit of a technical one here. This comes from Reddit.
Adam, just one quick question. Like,
Yes,
how is
yes.
this? How do you win this?
Just be yourself, Dennis.
Okay, all right. I didn't know if there was like points. I didn't
No.
know. All right.
No.
You
Definitely not a Steve game because there's
It's cool.
points and
Right.
you lose fingers.
Dennis, you win this game if somebody writes into the Hop Nation email at hopnationusa@gmail.com and says Dennis had a really good point.
That's cool. I'm
how you
pulling up I'm emailing you right now. I just got to follow up with that Zoom email.
So if I get an email before I answer a question, I'm gonna know.
I'll put
too
my
much.
phone down.
Too much. So this comes from Reddit. This comes from user Poopy Pants. I can't make it up. Actually,
Oh,
it is
God.
Poopy Pant 5, but I'm pretty sure it's Poopy Pants.
Right on.
Their question is, every time I pour a crowler, beer runs down the side of the can. Do you have any tips on how to pour a crowler cleanly?
That's pretty
Dennis.
fucking good.
I will ask you first.
Yeah, so I have some experience in this category. Number one, drinking problem. Number two, pouring crowlers live on camera for the daily sip and pouring so many of them. What I would recommend is obviously get your standard tilt going, but speed is what kills you with the crowler. Oh, number one, once you pop the crowler, it's okay. Give it a little sip. If you're sharing it with people, it's going to be weird. Sip it anyways. Because when you create that little trail of liquid, you're giving it a path that it's naturally going to want to run down. So you give it a little sippy sip, do the normal tilt, and then speeds everything nice and slow. And traditionally, once you get past the first 33% top of the can, you're good to go at that point.
Damn,
But
I
have
get
some
numbers
paper
into this.
towels. Have some paper towels because you're not going to get it your first couple times. But good news is, to get better, drink more crowlers.
That's a good ass answer. Steve, do you have any thoughts on that for Poopy Pant 5?
Well, for Mr. Poopy Pants, we've already actually answered this maybe 1 or 2 times on this show, but I'll date back to the episode we did with Cans PGH and Bill. And Bill pointed out that when you pour a crowler, you should punch a hole on the opposing side of the mouth, so it pours out with a air escape vent, same way you would with like old juice cans and shit. So yeah, that's how you should do them. That way it has an air intake and you don't wind up with that beer running down the side or anything like that. And that way you can not have to do a quick pour. You can just do a slow and steady normal pour.
Yes, thank you, Steve, for that correct answer. And
got a point.
the entire reason I asked that question was so that could be reiterated to people.
Yeah.
Because that is the way to do it. There is another way that I found out while doing a little bit of reading on that is
shotgun it.
Well, you could do that. You could use a straw.
Shotgunning a crowler. Damn.
There's got to be YouTube videos out there of that. There's got to be some Jago that's done that. But
without doubt.
The suggestion that I saw was to turn the can 180 degrees and pour it backwards.
Oh, okay. I guess that would work sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
But I still prefer the punchy top from Bill.
Yeah.
From
I just never done that. I just had to figure it out without like stabbing holes into the can.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would look badass.
Yeah, you did bring numbers into your argument, Dennis.
This is true.
Credit,
but no points. It's like an honorable mention when there's only 2 mentions.
That's right. Way to go, silver medal.
There's correct, and then there's more correct.
It's the best kind of correct.
That's all.
All right. The next question, it comes from Beer Advocate. They're Beer Advocate forums.
Uh-huh.
And this comes from user Julius Pepperwood. I'm not making this up, Dennis. I'm sorry.
It's just so funny.
And they have a very succinct question. Elaborate beer garnishes, cool or too much? Typically, you would have something like an orange or a lemon wedge or something like that. But there are some breweries out there that will go above and beyond. You know, they'll put some olives, or they'll do a donut hole or something ridiculous like that, some cookie. Cool or too much? Steve, I'll leave that one to you. You get to go first on this one.
It's too much. Very early on, you were taught that adding anything to the beer after the beer was poured was just sacrilege. So like putting the orange in the Blue Moon, that's sacrilege. The Blue Moon should just be good from the get-go. You shouldn't have to throw shit in there. So when you're doing all these fancy goofy ass garnishes with the cookies and the donuts, and you make it look like a really like abysmal Bloody Mary, it's just too much. Present your beer as is, present it clean, and this means even no cinnamon ring. If you wanted to have...
Adam felt that in his soul.
I did.
If you wanted it to have cinnamon flavor, put the cinnamon in the fucking beer.
Like the Cinnamon Ghoul by Spoonwood.
Exactly. That you don't need no cinnamon rim with that. So present it as is, and then if you want to have a side plate of food, like a side cookie, I know some places do cookie and beer pairings. If you want to do that, that's fine. You can do a side pairing, but leave it off the glass. Don't do that goof-ass shit. Don't try to make it look like one of those crazy fucking milkshakes that is a milkshake, and then it has like chocolate chips around the rim, and then it has a cake sticking out of it. I didn't order cake. I ordered a milkshake. Fuck. Get a hold of yourselves.
All right. That's a strong argument, Dennis.
It's pretty good. So 95% of the time, I agree with Steve. 100% of the time, 95% of the time.
It works every time.
Yeah.
It works every
checks.
time. However, in this scenario, I'm going to differ slightly, and hear me out. The reason why I would have a difference of opinion is because, personally, I think beer's meant to be fun. It has been around with, humankind for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And it's designed for you to enjoy something around sharing stories. That's at one point, that's how we pass down information from generation to generation over beer, or whatever we would have, any root fermentation or whatever they had at the time. So I think it all depends on what you want to do. Now, if you're writing reviews, if you're doing things like what you guys are, it's important to have what the beer was specifically before you do all the frills and everything else, adjuncts on top of, the beer after it's poured in your pint glass. Totally get that. But if you're going out to have fun and have a good time, I don't think there needs to be any gatekeeping on beer. You do whatever you want. You could bring your own fucking cake if you want. You show up, you want to put cake that you have in your pocket cake inside of that stout, you go ahead and do it. Beer's about having fun and enjoying it. That's just my opinion.
Point to Dennis purely for the fact that it mentioned pocket cake.
I almost spit beer all over my keyboard.
Look, even reflecting on my own life, I might have sounded like a hypocrite on that because I like a flaming Dr. Pepper from time to time.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, that's going way back.
That's Jekyll and Hyde's.
Right. That's Jekyll and Hyde shit. That's McCardle shit. And, that's just bombing a flaming shot of 151 into a light beer.
Oh my
God. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, but
it's not me who's wrong. It's the kids.
You're not wrong. So, I would have got away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids. But my whole point was, Steve, whatever you feel is right. Now a flaming Dr. Pepper. We're too old for that shit. There is no way we need to be doing that, right? Steve, no, it is Wednesday. No. I feel like after this, Steve's going to be like, I'm going to prove those motherfuckers wrong.
I don't have any light beer in the house.
So do it until Black is Beautiful.
Oh, if I had one left, bomb a flaming Kraken into a Black is Beautiful. Ooh.
I'm not going to lie. That sounds kind of amazing.
But I don't have any Black is Beautiful left. All I have is Kraken.
I know a guy that does.
Dude, Jesus, that sounds amazing.
Oh.
See, this is why we're all going to be subscribing to that 55 plan that Steve's on right now. The simple fact that we got really excited over that.
Oh, yeah. You guys are signed up for that plan. You just don't know it.
We're signed up, but we're trying to pretend like we're not. We think we're on the 75 plan. We're not. Cheers.
Oh, shit. All right. It's time for another one. It's time to go back to Reddit. To user Levi Johnson. There's nothing funny about that.
Yeah, it's like denim dick.
Yeah, that's why I was laughing. Yes, thank you. Steve got it.
All right. So the question is, when and how did you begin to enjoy stouts?
When and how?
I found this very interesting. Mr. Johnson went on to say that he has tried his darndest to enjoy stouts, but for whatever reason, can't get into them. So this is a two-parter of answering that question of when and how did you enjoy stouts? And the second part that I'm adding in is what stout would you recommend for Mr. Johnson to jump into? Dennis, you are back.
All righty. So just jumping in there, I may have to get you to read the second half of the question after I answer the first half.
No, that's fine.
How good my memory is. But when and how did I begin to enjoy stouts? Honestly, I wasn't notoriously early on in my craft beer journey, 2014, when I really started getting into craft beer. I wasn't the biggest stout fan. I mostly enjoyed porters, which is, thinner body. It's not going to be as robust and punching you in the face. And then Sammy and I actually flew over to Ireland because, we didn't take a boat. And just like seeing a lot of their pub culture, because over the years, I'm starting to realize with me personally, I'm a very relationship, like I romanticize the idea of relationships with things. and then just seeing like a lot of the old timey pubs, and everyone had a stout, everyone was drinking Guinness, just that feeling. I was like, okay, let me start getting into this. Let me try this. I drank it. I was like, this isn't half bad. This is good. Then we went to the Guinness plant or factory, however you want to call it.
Brewery?
Yeah, but it's not set up like a brewery. Like, this is like if breweries all got together and they had $1 billion. This place was insane. It had like a gift floor, like just for gifting, a whole where you could just get things personalized. It reminded me more of an amusement park than it did a brewery. I guess that's why it was kind of lost for words there.
I just to jump in real quick, Dennis, my suggestion is go on YouTube and find Conan O'Brien's travel to the Guinness Brewery. And it highlights everything you're saying, that it looks more like an amusement park.
It does.
It's like going to Epcot. Then.
Yes. Like even the elevator, like I was like, how many floors are on it? Then you get your free fresh pint of Guinness. Up at the top is your overlooking Ireland, which is notoriously known for stouts. So bringing that back home to the U.S. is kind of how I started my journey. It was like, fuck, I love stouts. I have to go out and find as many and drink as many as I like. So that's kind of how I started really getting into stouts, is romanticizing, where a lot of stouts come from. What was the second part of the question, Adam?
The second part of the question is, if you had to recommend a stout for Mr. Johnson to get into enjoying stouts, what would you recommend?
So, Mr. Johnson, what I would tell him is beer to me, in comparison to other libations, is more culinary. Whereas, whiskeys and spirits, I think they're a little bit more chemistry. And the reason why I say that is because 9 times out of 10, whatever you put in a beer, you could already mostly predict what's going to come out of that. So the reason why I'm bringing this up for Mr. Johnson, think about the different delicacies, items, desserts, food items that he really loves, that he's passionate about, and then seek out stouts, SOS. Seek out stouts.
Hell yeah.
Where he can kind of mimic his flavor profile of what he already enjoys and romanticizes in his own life, and then start his journey that way.
Damn.
That's what I say.
That's a good one. Steve, I'll ask you the same 2 questions.
I didn't need to go to Ireland to enjoy Guinness. I just always enjoyed Guinness. I don't remember a time I didn't enjoy Guinness. That's fact. My brain is shit, but I still don't remember a time I didn't enjoy Guinness. I took it to the next level through Trogue's Java Head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was like kind of the next level, where I went from a dry Irish to, that's getting into pastry yum times, because it's coffee. It's, it's coffee deliciousness and darkness and chocolate. So that's the next step. And then from there, it was just all free form. Let's go everywhere we can with stouts. So I love everything from a dry Irish to fucking marshmallow chocolate coffee times.
Nice.
To cinnamon spicy pepper boy.
Which you are proving right now.
Yes. So yeah, second part of the question, it's kind of hard to say because there is such a different spectrum of flavors that you can get within stouts, because it all depends on what the adjunct is and what the style is. If it's supposed to be a dry Irish, which for some reason I imagine that's what this guy, what Dick Denham has been after.
Dick Denham, private.
It's like a weird kind of superhero.
Right.
He saves you, but then you get the Dick Denham.
Yeah. Like I imagine that's what he tried. Like he tried Guinness, or he tried whatever. Samuel Smith's maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And those are pretty standard stouts.
Right.
So maybe his thing is he has to go for the dessert fat times.
Treats.
Yeah, treats. Get some treats. See if you like those. And if you did it the other way, well then go back to the basics. Do some Guinness and some Samuel Smith's. Those are enduring for a reason, because they're good. Even for basic beer.
And the Samuel Smith's is organic.
Mm-hmm. Those are some good answers. I'm not sure how I'm going to score that one yet.
Okay.
Yeah. It was pretty subjective. Like
It was. So we'll stay on Reddit. We'll go with the next question from user Wine While I Garden. And their question is, do you mix beers?
Like
Steve,
blend them?
I'll ask this question to you first.
I feel like there was more of a question. Do you mix beers?
That's it. Do you mix beers?
All right.
And I will throw the qualifier on there. Obviously, black and tans are right out.
Okay.
I believe that is an established, I'll say sub-style, if that makes sense.
Oh, you could almost call it a established cocktail at this point.
Mm-hmm. But,
Which-
yeah, that's right out.
Okay. I mean, generally, I don't mix beers unless it's stouts. I'll mix some stouts if they're like differing flavor profiles, and then I'll mix them together, see what's up. But generally, no. But if it's over a course of a drinking period, then yeah, I will mix beers because I won't stick to the same beer.
Okay.
So I'll go from IPAs to stouts.
Or do
The
you
more-
mean physically mixing the beers, Adam?
I mean physically mixing the beers. Not necessarily mixing throughout your drinking session, but 2 beers into 1 glass.
Yes. That's what I thought you were saying at first.
Yes, that's what I'm driving at. Dennis, do you?
Oh, I didn't know if Steve officially answered that. That's why I was I didn't know. It was
Yeah, no, I usually don't because I like to
Okay,
enjoy.
all right.
I like to enjoy each beer by
Yeah.
itself.
It's just that I don't have a Steve face to look at. They'd be like, "Nah, dog, I'm done. Go on."
Yeah, sorry.
Well, see, you had to watch the pattern in the cyber, Steve.
no, it's pretty I can't say it.
Algorithmic,
Yes, that one. I couldn't get that out.
and I'm 10% stout deep.
But Dennis,
Algorithmic.
I don't think I could naturally have said that word. Algorithmic. I couldn't. I just can't. It's one of those words. Maybe it's the terpenes that I've had.
Terpenes?
Terpenes.
Turtle wangs.
$50 or $50.
So with that in mind, do you mix beers, Dennis?
So, 2 answers. One, me personally, I've never done it outside of the traditional black and tan, which we have disqualified at the beginning of this question. So second type of answer is I'm not against it. It's just I never actually thought through what would I mix with what. Could you come up with some crazy combinations that could taste very good? Absolutely. And going back to the earlier question I answered, it's all about having fun. Do whatever the hell you want. So if the question was like a very grandiose, should you mix them? You could do whatever the hell you want. Do I personally mix them? I do not yet. But if someone had like this and this, put this together, it's going to blow your mind. Like I've seen some people actually do like a dark stout with an apple, like with a cider beer. And I tried it and it was actually really good, but something inside me was like, what are you doing? Like, so I think, mentally I'm not there yet because both of those manufacturers of beers and ciders and whatnot, they harness, their skill set so hard. It would be tough for me to just like mix them together. Not saying I won't, just saying I haven't found compelling enough evidence that make me do so.
That's a very good answer. Unfortunately, you're both wrong. The correct answer is you should mix everything with Clamato.
Ew.
That cannot be the right. That's the only way Adam gets a point during this game, being the moderator.
Yeah. Speaking of moderators, and I just want to break in with a report as we're recording this while we're recording this.
Oh, no.
The vice presidential debate is going on.
Oh, no. What happened?
A fly has landed on Mike Pence's head and is crawling around.
He probably didn't even know because he has no feeling. Like,
well,
it's so
he
in
he
his
has
skin.
done his best to ignore it, but it's obviously been picked up by social media and everybody is Just write your own joke from
No,
that.
why can he not just swat it away?
Well, because it would make an obvious reference to the fact that he's covered in flies for some reason.
Oh, yeah, we will leave those jokes open to the listener.
So, yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
Oh,
I think
boy.
I think with a score of 2 to 1 to 1, I think Dennis won this one.
I think so too.
Okay.
Well, no, how would you score the second one?
The second one?
Or the second or third? The one you said you're not sure how you're going to score.
Oh, the Stouts one. The Stouts one was the third one.
Yes. I'm taking that point. To hell with you.
You can't take that point.
I'm the one with the scoreboard.
It's true.
Whatever.
guess
Dennis
technically,
Dennis and I win 2 to 1.
Yes, I will agree with that. You know who else won? Little listener.
Mm-hmm.
They did. No,
And,
this was cool.
They all won. They all learned some things.
Yes, and you, the listener, if you have any other answers for this, let us know. Hit us up on the social media. Slide into them DMs. Send us an email.
And if you have any questions, we'll take those too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk you out.
Yeah. For now, though, Dennis, why don't you plug what you're up to, where everybody can find you?
Absolutely. So many plugs. So number one, you guys can find us at firstsipbrewbox.com, where you can choose any of your Brewbox subscription options. We have 3 different tiers. Jump in there. You're going to get all kinds of unique brewery swag. And then we partner with small businesses that make things out of beer. It could be beer soap, shampoo, coffee with hops in there. It can literally be anything. So it's a surprise every time. If you're looking to connect with us, hit us up on social media. We're on 7 different social media platforms, all at First Sip Brew Box. So we're looking to hear from you guys and learn more about different things that you want us to feature in our brew boxes. And also check us out on YouTube, First Sip Brew Box, and catch an episode of the Daily Sip.
Right on. Hopefully one day we make it on there.
Yeah, you guys are in the queue. There's so many humans out there.
Man, it's like high school all over again.
Wait, you got hit with a lot of dodgeballs?
Yeah, you didn't?
I was extremely skinny in high school, so they just whizzed past me.
I believe
Because,
that.
hashtag poor life.
I would have no doubt that Dennis has been called String Bean a number of times.
My nickname growing up was Daddy Longlegs because I was
all right,
like 6'5" in the 10th grade.
Yeah.
And back before I joined the Army, I was like 165, 170 pounds.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, insane. And then I met my wife, and that was 65, 70 pounds ago. I feel great.
Good healthy weight.
It is. You carry it well.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
If you'll want to find us, though, on social media, all you have to do is search Hop Nation USA. That'll get you Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And if you want to listen to brand new episodes of the Hop Nation USA podcast every Friday, as you should, then search Hop Nation USA on Stitcher, Podbean, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and now Amazon. We're on there.
Ooh.
Getting that Bezos money.
Yeah. Jeff Bezos, I'm coming for you.
Don't say that. There's something in your house listening.
No, there isn't. Purposely.
Yeah, probably not Steve's.
Yeah, there's no Alexas or any of that garbage in my house.
Well, little do you know, he's now employing platypuses and groundhogs, which I would assume only 50% of those are going to affect you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and groundhogs will be killed. So,
I say Steve still has the skunk army in his back pocket,
Right.
so
It's
he's
true.
good.
I got Skunk Nation on my side.
They are OGs together. Steve looks out for them. They look out for Steve.
I got skunks, rabbits, and random dogs.
I don't know how I feel about that last one. Like, are they lost dogs from?
I don't know.
neighbors?
They're random. They just show up in my yard sometimes.
Do you feed them?
No, I don't want them coming back. But if you're on any of those podcast platforms that we'd mentioned before I got interrupted, leave us a 5-star review because
We are a 6 deer tuxedo show, but they only let us use 5.
that's a bigger crime.
It's my turn to sigh.
And that's a bigger crime than what they would charge you for rabbit pelts at Boy Scout camp. That shit was a ripoff.
It was.
Yeah,
Damn.
but they were so soft. Because
Word.
Angora is soft. But you
I thought
couldn't.
Angora was goat.
No, Angora is rabbit.
Oh, that's my bad.
And then
Steve's
Maybe I'm
pretty
the one that
confident
really
on
got
this
ripped off.
topic.
yeah, it's very soft. But the problem is when you bought those pelts at Boy Scout camp, like you couldn't really do anything with them. It was just a pelt.
Just pet the wall.
Yeah, you
Just
like
get
pet,
him to the Greek. Just pet the wall.
yeah, you just pet it. So,
Everything will be okay.
Oh, I've missed this. You guys are insane, and I love it.
Yeah.
Let's do it again sometime.
Absolutely. Let's do it again over on the Daily Sip. We'll get you guys scheduled once we get back from Jersey.
All right.
Yes, maybe we can try to do something in person. So it's not just
Yeah, that'd be cool.
it's not just a nightmare floating head.
Oh, it's been
Cyber
fun,
Steve.
though.
Cyber Steve.
Killer of groundhogs. You'd have so many weird titles if we traveled like 500 years ago.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, they would start with the obvious of Steve the Giant, and then just disseminate from there.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, if World War II people were small, 400 or 500 years ago,
Yeah.
there was even Vikings were like tall at like 5'8".
Yeah, there were no Magnus ver Magnusons back then, so
That's a hell of a reference, Steve.
it's a good one.
That's a good one.
Well, we'll see how much of this makes it on the actual podcast.
Oh, all this end stuff will make it on.
Oh,
Just-
yeah.
Just some of that other QC stuff that gets cut out.
Saving it for the indefinite blooper reel.
Yeah.
Mhm.
With that in mind, though, thanks to everybody listening. We'll be back next week with something new. We'll probably be in the studio.
What a twist.
And
Ooh.
speaking of twist, I think next week it will be pretzel beers.
Yes.
Yes.
Damn, that sounds good.
I know. We actually somehow put together 3 pretzel beers.
I never can find more than one
I know.
at
What a
one
world.
time.
What a world.
You got to know a guy that knows a guy.
We'll see you next week. Bye.